Imagine stepping into a cage, risking your brain cells, and walking out with a check that barely covers your training camp. Welcome to the UFC, where fighters are modern-day gladiators on a budget. At UFC 306, one seat on the floor, just the chair, costs $12,000. That's more than some fighters make for getting punched in the face on live TV. So, why does this keep happening? Short version? They don't need to pay more. Long version? It starts with a simple truth. Monopolies don't negotiate. In the early 2000s, the UFC had rivals. Pride in Japan, Strikeforce in the US. Even WEC and Elite XC gave fighters alternate paths. If you were hot, you had leverage. And when fighters have leverage, promotions compete. That means better deals, better contracts, better pay. But the UFC didn't just win. They bought their way to the top. Pride, bought and killed. Strikeforce, bought and absorbed. Elite XC imploded, and the UFC picked off the scraps. One by one, the alternatives vanished. For a while, Bellator kept the dream alive. But bad cards, weird matchups, and zero momentum turned them into the MMA retirement home. And now, they've been scooped up by PFL, another option gone. Suddenly, the UFC wasn't just the biggest, it was the only real place to go. If you wanted fans, sponsorships, a title shot, a legacy, you went through Dana White. The UFC exploded. ESPN deal. Saudi events. Monster gates. Pay-per-view prices ballooned. Dana brags about record-breaking revenue every month.
The gate was $11.5 million. UFC now holds the number 1, 2, and 3 highest gate record of all time.
The business is booming. But while the business went from $500 million to over $1.5 billion a year, entry-level pay, still 10 grand to show and 10 grand to win, same as it was when Brock Lesnar was champ. No inflation bump, no health insurance, just the same lowball deal year after year. Let's break it down. You fight on 10 grand to show, you lose. No win bonus, that's 10 grand. After taxes, maybe 7 grand. Then take out 20% for coaches and managers. Now you're at 5. Add training camp, gear, food, maybe travel. You're walking home with less than 4 grand. 4 grand for 8 weeks of camp, 3 hours of cutting weight, and 15 minutes of brain trauma. That's not a paycheck. That's a scam. It's not just about pay, it's about control. UFC controls everything. Who you fight, when you fight, what you get paid, and what sponsors you're allowed to have. You want to wear your own sponsor in the octagon? Nope. Only UFC-approved logos. And guess who gets the check? Not you. Back in the day, fighters made real money from sponsors. Condom Depot, Muscle Farm, whoever. Now, UFC locks down all branding. Fighters get a tiny Venom bonus, and the UFC gets the actual sponsor check. You're not just a fighter, you're licensed intellectual property. Think being a headliner makes you rich? Think again. UFC controls pay-per-view money too. Let's say $2 per pay-per-view. Buy in your fight sells 1 million pay-per-views. So $2 million, right? Well, nope. Here's how it actually works. From 0 to 500,000 pay-per-views, buys you only get $1 per buy. From 500,000 to 750,000, you get $1.5 only after that. From 750 to 1 million, you get $2 per buy. So instead of getting $2 million, you get $1,375. So even if you sell out the arena, you're still getting scaled percentages like it's a phone data plan. And if you try to speak out, ask for more money, mention a union, congrats. You're on Dana's blacklist. No fights, no promotion, no leverage. You don't like the system? Tough. There's nowhere else to go. This isn't just about fighter pay, it's about control. The UFC owns the path, the brand, the product, and you are the product. If you want the fame, you sign the deal. But that deal, it's built to keep you desperate. Fighters make the show. Fighters sell the tickets. Fighters take the damage. Maybe it's time the fighters got their cut.